Welcome to my channel. If you've enjoyed watching one or two of our videos and haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button now for more captivating stories like this. Don't miss a single story. The tale commences in a vast abyss adjacent to towering mountains. In this setting, a rabbit quietly observes the field. Suddenly, a brilliant light emerges, too dazzling for human eyes to perceive, extending beyond the forest. Within this enchanting illumination, a magical tree materializes, adorned with vines hanging from its branches and flowing along the ground, as if surveying its surroundings. Unexpectedly, the tree experiences a fit of coughing, almost choking, and it becomes aware that it is lost, finding itself in the heart of the wilderness. A bee buzzes in front of the tree, uttering words of reassurance. This causes the tree to panic, realizing that its bark has become thick with leaves. The tree contemplates whether it is trapped in a peculiar dream, perhaps a result of its busy existence, which could explain the strange occurrences. Consequently, the tree decides to return to slumber, hoping that upon awakening, everything will return to normal. However, moments later, panic ensues once again. The tree, as it turns out, is actually a human who has transformed into a tree. This arboreal human recalls the unfortunate event of choking on water and subsequently perishing. The irony of the situation strikes the tree, finding it amusing. Subsequently, the tree begins to ponder further, questioning the nature of its reincarnation and the reasons behind its transformation into a tree. In the mind of this tree human, reincarnation implies becoming attractive and possessing a harem, yet lacking limbs and the ability to perform one-handed pull-ups poses a conundrum. Moreover, the tree delves into deeper reflection, deeming repentance an implausible concept. Suddenly, the tree notices something extraordinary. Trees typically lack eyes, but this particular tree possesses a full range of vision, enabling it to perceive its surroundings without turning its head. Additionally, the tree realizes that it lacks the sense of smell, but instead, it can feel. It also becomes aware of having 50 branches, yet ironically, it can only move one. The tree made an attempt to mobilize the remaining 40 branches, and to its surprise, it succeeded. The tree could finally command all of its branches. As the tree discovered its newfound abilities, it envisioned scenarios such as being pecked by a woodpecker, realizing that even a single woodpecker could be lethal to a tree. On the distant horizon, an aircraft zoomed past, leading the tree to speculate that perhaps it found itself in the modern world, potentially aligned with the current timeline. The bees buzzed once again, but this time, their sound was louder. The tree became furious, channeling the spirit of the legendary Bruce Lee, and swiftly dispatched the bees with its branches, achieving a double kill. Subsequently, a series of notifications appeared before the tree, displaying information about its projected identity as Yuzu, a mutant willow with a lifespan of 0 to 120 years. Yuzu's mutated branches possessed passive abilities such as capturing sunlight and eliminating other creatures. Notably, Yuzu had recently gained 0.2 evolution points for eliminating the bees and absorbing sunlight. These evolution points could be utilized to reinforce selected branches. Amused, Yuzu likened the experience to lifting weights in a gym. Yuzu spotted a nearby beehive, its buzzing once again resonating loudly. This time, there was no cause for concern. With a swift strike, Yuzu shattered the beehive in half. After half a month, Yuzu had finally strengthened all of its branches. Contemplating its newfound power, Yuzu envisioned striking a massive slab of rock before it, employing a whirlwind tornado charge technique. As the branches fused into one and struck the rock, Yuzu examined the result. Remarkably, although the branches did not make direct contact with the rock, the force of the airwaves generated by the strike managed to fracture a small portion of it. Yuzu recognized the potential of this technique, a lethal attack that could lure and eliminate enemies in a single blow. Yuzu observed a notable change. He had grown taller, distinguishing himself from ordinary trees. He was undeniably unique. The roots of Yuzu were extraordinary as well, as he felt a profound connection with the raw energy emanating from the earth. Realizing his exceptional nature, Yuzu understood that, unlike humans, he could enjoy an extended lifespan. He aspired to become as significant as the world tree, recognizing that life as a tree surpassed that of a human. Yuzu embraced this new beginning with great enthusiasm. While breaking a few of his branches, he stumbled upon a nest of peregrine falcons. Fascinated by these creatures and comparing their behavior to that of leopards, Yuzu marveled at this newfound knowledge. It became evident to him that he lacked aerial combat abilities. Understanding that, as a tree, He needed to conquer all odds and strive for survival. Yuzu faced the challenges ahead. Tempest wolves roamed freely, leaving destruction in their wake, while oversized ants flew like tornadoes, obliterating everything in their path. A colossal spider queen loomed, instilling feelings of insignificance in the smaller creatures. Yuzu discovered that even in this world, King Kong and a viper adorned with a massive axe on its head existed. Yuzu continued his creature slaying, this time targeting a rabbit, which he fed to the baby peregrine falcons. Strengthening his branches further, he desired growth in his tree roots and trunk. Allocating an evolution point to his roots, Yuzu experienced a sharp, continuous pain, as if being drilled. Nonetheless, his roots grew thicker than before. Moving on to his trunk, he encountered a sensation akin to being kicked in the groin. With no evolution points remaining, Yuzu resolved to hunt once more. A sound emanated from behind the bushes, piquing his curiosity. Yuzu, driven by heroics, approached the source of the noise to find a wounded fox lying on the ground, gasping for its last breaths, its mouth agape. Using his branches, Yuzu prodded the wounded fox, which was not yet dead. However, due to the poison in its system, he couldn't allow it to be fed to the peregrine falcons. Yuzu contemplated his options and consulted the projection, discovering that the liquid from his branches could serve as a cure for the fox. He made the decision to revive the fox and then eliminate it for evolution points. As it turned out, this tree wasn't as foolish as one might think. Utilizing the liquid from his branches, Yuzu managed to halt the bleeding from the fox's wounds. Suddenly, the fox regained vitality, its eyes gleaming with energy received from the tree. Yuzu prepared to launch an attack, but the fox unleashed its power, the mighty Egyo. Unexpectedly, the fox rubbed itself against the trunk of the tree. Yuzu was taken aback. Despite its impressive strength, this tree had a soft spot for adorable creatures like the fox. Yuzu embraced the fox, akin to cuddling a fluffy stuffed toy that children hug when they go to sleep. Suddenly, a brilliant light burst forth. The red fox was, in fact, evolving, with fur as radiant as the phoenix rising from the ashes. It resembled a more advanced version of Fennekin from Pokemon. Yuzu opened his status window, noticing that the lovely fox was also at the beginner stage, merely 5 stages ahead of the said creature. He recognized the potential for leveling up and attaining godlike status in his world. He pondered why the fox had been wounded, considering the possibility that it was being hunted by humans. However, the whereabouts of the humans remained unknown. Yuzu heard another sound nearby. 2 young women approached, carrying water and a basket of fruits. Although unfamiliar with these faces, Yuzu activated his stealth mode. One of the women referred to him as Papa, indicating that he was the father of these 2 individuals. Yuzu came to the realization that their father was buried beneath his tree roots. The 2 women offered their prayers and consumed their offering. Afterward, they decided to take a bath. Yuzu, being the pervert that he is, desired to catch a glimpse of these beautiful women. Whether one is a tree or a human, perverted tendencies remain unchanged, and Yuzu was no exception. Another week passed, and Yuzu's world brimmed with unknown dangers. A group of mutated golden eagles screeched, proving to be more perilous than the peregrine falcons. From a distance, a red fox pounced, seizing an eagle with its powerful jaws. The 2 engaged in a struggle for dominance, but the red fox was ultimately crushed, blood seeping from its skull. Before the eagle could attack Yuzu, it noticed a sound nearby. In response, Yuzu unleashed his whirlwind tornado charge, causing the eagle to wail as it plummeted to the ground. This feat granted Yuzu additional evolution points. Yuzu pondered how the golden eagle had discovered him, suspecting it may have been due to his aura. Despite his new abilities, Yuzu remained vulnerable and resolved to grow stronger alongside his companions. Suddenly, something emerged from the ground, leaving Yuzu feeling disoriented. He witnessed several of his branches and roots being severed without sensing the enemy's presence. Alarmed by this, he prompted the system to reveal the enemy's attributes. It turned out to be a warax snake, similar in level to Yuzu. This enemy possessed counters against his abilities, rendering him more vulnerable. With the assistance of his friends, Yuzu attempted to fight the snake. He struck the snake's belly, causing it to hiss and become increasingly enraged. Trying to exhibit fear, Yuzu strengthened his roots and struck the snake once again. However, the snake appeared distracted and slowly retreating to its original location. Yuzu came to the realization that he was not as strong as he initially appeared to be. Determined to avoid facing a similar situation again, Yuziu continued to evolve alongside his companions. His branches regrew, and his body grew larger. The red fox also became more robust, while the peregrine falcon soared through the sky at speeds faster than light. Yuziu observed that his transformation had an impact on them as well. Wanting to pick up where he left off, Yuziu asked the falcons to search for the warax snake. Just then, the two women from the previous encounter came running towards Yuziu, chased by a horde of wild animals. Yuziu speculated that his aura had drawn them to him. A wild boar pursued the girls, but the red fox leapt towards it, saving them. The other animals then began to attack the red fox, but the peregrine falcon swooped in, defending their newfound companion. With his newfound strength, Yuziu positioned himself ready to attack the ferocious beasts, preparing to claim them as evolution points. Striking them with his enhanced branches, Yuziu killed several mutated creatures. Instead of eliminating the more powerful ones, he decided to spare them. After being pursued by the wild beasts, the two women became exhausted. Yuziu considered the worst-case scenario, and being an unattractive tree in a zoo seemed highly unfavorable. It seemed that attractiveness still mattered in his second life. One of the girls woke up, and Yuziu gave them his most foreboding look. The girls anticipated that the tree would attack them, but Yuziu wrote something on the ground, anticipating their reaction. The girls inquired about their greatest secret, and fortunately, the system revealed that Xiaoling harbored feelings for her neighbor, Wak Shouqing. They discussed how Xiaoling skipped school to take care of their family, possibly because their father was buried under the tree, which seemed to possess knowledge of their secrets. They pondered the possibility of their father's soul merging with the tree due to the flow of time. As a gift, Yuziu presented the sisters with a pair of hairpins. Xiaoqing and Xiao shared with the tree the peculiar events of the past 2 months. They speculated that the combination of Eastern spiritual energy and Western magic might be the cause of these occurrences. Xiaoling, being a bit naive, fed scraps from the animal ward to the untamed wolves. Xiao Hong, the red fox, threatened the wolves, causing them to whimper and eventually eat the scraps. Yuziu contemplated what to do with the captured beasts, realizing that he had gained additional strength from this unexpected event. With hopes of reaching the ranking stage this time, having progressed from the beginner stage, Yuziu reviewed his new abilities. He had accumulated a total of 149 evolution points, in addition to his enhanced regeneration and the ability to create a dense fog barrier that induced hallucinations in enemies. Reaching the first rank, he eagerly anticipated the opportunity to vanquish the warax snake, but he knew he had to eliminate stronger enemies nearby as soon as possible. Activating his dense fog barrier, Yuziu instructed Xiao Hong to guide the sisters down the mountain. Still reeling from the sudden turn of events, the sisters could hardly believe they were riding on a red fox. Yuziu continued to evolve, recognizing the potent effect of the hallucinogenic fog on the creatures surrounding him. He decided to upgrade this ability, although he couldn't enhance another skill, namely the life force, due to insufficient evolution points. Meanwhile, his roots continued to extend beneath the ground, fostering a deeper connection to the world around him. The peregrine falcons returned, perching on one of Yuziu's branches. They informed Yuziu that they were unable to locate the warax snake. Yuziu instructed them to persist in their search. Disturbed by the commotion caused by the wolves, Yuziu struck them with his branch. The sisters returned from their ride, with Xiaoling expressing anger at the notion of bullying the wolves, considering them to be cute. On the other hand, Xiaoqing tended to the wolves' wounds. The wolves whimpered quietly as Xiaoling and a bald individual quarreled over a piece of beef jerky. Yuziu realized that the bald individual had managed to escape, so he securely tied them up again. The bald individual squirmed vigorously until Xiaolin offered them a slice of beef jerky, revealing their softer side. Xiaoqing befriended other creatures that Yuziu had kept, and it seemed that the sisters were growing more comfortable with these animals. It was an adorable sight, but amidst this positive development, another danger loomed in the background. Back in the village, the sun shone brightly as Xiaoting and Shouqing hurriedly made their way towards the mountains. Their grandfather, already concerned, wondered why they frequently ventured there, sensing that something was transpiring unbeknownst to him. Grandparents truly are a wonderful presence in the world, aren't they? Meanwhile, Yuziu searched for Xiao Hong, the red fox. It appeared that Xiao Hong had once again taken the sisters on its back, leaping into the forest. The mischievous sister smirked, having brought fertilizer for Yuziu, the tree under which their father was laid to rest. Unaware that the tree continually evolved by slaying creatures in the forest, they sought to strengthen their father. Xiaoling gazed up at the sky, sensing that rain was surely on its way. Zhao Hong became alarmed by an unexpected visitor, the war-axe snake, which appeared even more formidable than before. The snake hissed menacingly at them, foretelling an impending doom for the sisters within Yuziu's territory. Meanwhile, the tree engaged in a fierce battle against a swarm of mutated bees, relentlessly accumulating more evolution points despite the steep cost of leveling up. Nothing deterred him from his pursuit of becoming stronger. His branches grew more menacing, capable of capturing multiple creatures at once, reminiscent of the Mind Flayer in Stranger Things. With his heightened senses, he created a protective circle around himself. Meanwhile, the creatures he had captured remained tethered to his branches. Yuziu wondered where Zhao Hong had disappeared to, unaware that the war-axe snake had become even more dangerous, ruthlessly slaying anything in its path. This development deeply troubled our hero, Yuziu, as he anxiously awaited the arrival of the sisters and Zhao Hong. Urging Ada, one of the peregrine falcons, to fly alongside his siblings in search of them, the tree's concerns grew. Suddenly, Zhao Hong appeared, badly wounded from the encounter with the war-axe snake. Oh no, not their beloved red fox. Yuziu swiftly employed his life essence to heal Zhao Hong, who gradually regained strength. In the distance, Shou Qing and Xiao Ling finally came into view, but the war-axe snake loomed, ready to devour one of the sisters. Fueled by anger, Yuziu's branches swiftly snatched the girl before the snake could strike. Yuziu's fury intensified as he realized the snake's appetite extended beyond Xiao Qing. It had devoured a branch he had bestowed upon it. Determined to subdue the snake, Yuziu incapacitated it and sent it far away from his territory. Sensing the tree's resurgence, the war-axe snake retreated, recognizing that Yuziu was not its enemy but rather a creature to be devoured. This snake truly belonged in the Slytherin house, cunning and treacherous as can be. After securing Xiao Qing, Yuziu utilized the remainder of his life essence to repeatedly heal her, expending more of his energy in the process. The creatures grew restless, and the system informed Yuziu that there were no signs of vitality from Xiao Qing. No, Shiro Qing, please don't die, Yuziu pleaded. Xiao Ling remained motionless, her lifeless body lying still. In the village, their grandfather grew increasingly anxious as the village doctor delivered grim news. Even if Xiao Ling survived, she might be left disabled. The village leader returned from the search, but they found no trace of Xiao Qing. Ada, perched on a tree, gazed at the window, aware of Xiao Ling's condition. This tragic event fueled Yuziu's anger, and he rallied his companions, preparing to confront the war-axe snake once and for all. Due to the immense energy unleashed by Yuziu and his group, numerous accidents were reported. 17 planes crashed near the archipelago, and over 20 ships sank within a span of 2 weeks. Mutated crows filled the skies, while sea creatures transformed into monstrous beings. As these creatures grew stronger, their desire to conquer more areas within Peng Lake intensified. Reports indicated that it had become a dead zone. Thus, the era of spiritual energy officially commenced. With the increasing reports of mutated beasts, the head officer commanded his subordinates to mark out areas with spiritual energy surpassing 5,000. Creatures with over 1,000 spiritual energy proved challenging to contain, acting like well-trained military soldiers. Moreover, those with over 5,000 spiritual energy were even more formidable. The head officer identified 8 areas with spiritual energy exceeding 5,000. The red alarm sounded, alerting everyone in the room. Surprisingly, the system detected a staggering amount of 18,000 spiritual energy. The implications of this discovery left them wondering if it signaled the end of the world. In Yuziu's world, creature size mattered more than anything. Currently, Yuziu's companions were engaged in a fierce battle against the war-axe snake. The white crane, ranked at beginner rank 3, coughed up blood, while the black cow, at beginner rank 2, writhed in pain. Even the bald-headed creature, as wild as Xiao Qing, joined the attack on the war-axe snake. Despite their numbers and upgrades, Yuziu's companions proved no match for the war-axe snake, which currently held a formidable beginner rank 9. Together, they launched simultaneous assaults on the snake, hoping to achieve victory. The war-axe snake hissed as blood seeped from its eyes, but Yuziu's companions were far from finished. Another creature entered the scene, brimming with bloodlust and fury, Xiao Hong, the red fox. This was not the first encounter between the war-axe snake and the red fox. It seemed that the red fox harbored a deep desire to kill this ferocious beast. The snake had viewed the red fox as mere prey during their initial encounter. The second encounter took place when Yuzu fought the snake. However, the last encounter was excruciatingly painful for Xiao Hong. The snake had nearly killed the sisters, and at that time, it was only at rank 7. This poor creature transformed pain into power as the red fox let out a mighty roar, its tail ablaze with flames. The warax snake recognized the raw power emanating from the red fox and responded with a resounding roar, yet the red fox stood unwaveringly, determined to overcome. The two creatures clashed, engaging in a deadly struggle. The warax snake utilized its lethal axe-like tail, poisonous fangs, and resilient scales to gain an advantage in battle. However, the red fox remained undeterred. Xiaohan lunged, sinking his claws into the snake's skin. "Let's go, Xiaohan. Avenge the sisters." The snake swiftly retaliated. In the sky, the peregrine falcon swooped down, diving at the snake with incredible speed. Surprised by the attack, the snake let out a wail as a crack opened on its belly. Wounded from the battle, Xiao Hong took a moment to catch his breath. The peregrine falcons, not yet finished with the snake, soared through the sky like jets, emitting piercing screams. The snake was caught off guard, and even Xiao Hong felt the intimidation radiating from the falcons. It seemed as though the falcons were willing to sacrifice themselves to defeat this adversary. Their speed surpassed that of light, a deathly velocity, yet the falcons showed no fear. They embodied the strength found in numbers. The falcons had not forgotten Yuzu's kindness. He had taken them in and cared for their nest full of young birds, becoming a parental figure to them. The profound impact of what had happened to the sisters deeply affected Yuzu, Ada, and the falcons. They would never forget that day. If Yuzu sought to kill the snake and avenge the sisters, the falcons would assist him without hesitation, even if it meant sacrificing their lives. Once again, the peregrine falcons employed their bullet dive technique, striking the snake relentlessly. All over its body and tail. The enemy shrieked in agony. However, the energy required for the bullet dive attack took its toll on the falcons. Slowly, they descended in the air, leaving Yuzu's companions severely wounded from the battle. Xiao Hong patiently awaited its turn, casting its gaze upon its companions. Despite the wounds sustained in battle, the war axe snake refused to accept defeat. It struck at Xiao Hong, launching an attack on the red fox. However, a strong branch intervened, courtesy of Yuzu, and Yuzu retaliated, catching the snake off guard once again. Yuzu released a hallucinogenic fog, enveloping the area. Finally, Yuzu encountered the snake once more. The snake rose to its feet, its killer instinct still intact. Yuzu recalled their past encounters with this adversary, determined not to let it escape. The snake suddenly realized it had been tricked by Yuzu, lured into a trap. Yuzu ensnared the snake with all his branches and roots, tightening his grip to ensure it wouldn't escape again. The snake howled, coughing up blood. Finally, the war axe snake met its demise. Yuzu gained 90 evolution points for slaying the creature. Wounded from the battle, Yuzu and his companions supported one another. However, dissatisfied with the aftermath, Yuzu struck the snake once more, resembling a child pummeling a ragdoll. He goaded the snake to rise, as if it were still alive. Yuzu continued to strike the snake repeatedly, reducing it to a pulpy mess. Burdened with pain and sorrow, Yuzu let out a scream, attempting to find meaning in his actions. In his world, where the strong prey upon the weak, Yuzu rationalized his actions, justifying the killing of the snake that had taken the lives of the sisters. All he felt was anger and sadness, and sensing Yuzu's energy, his companions cried alongside him. "Are you guys crying because I am?" The scene shifted to a village nestled in the valley. A woman lay on the ground, while her grandfather wept, cradling his granddaughter before returning to the forest. Xiao Han bestowed a final glance upon Xiao Qing, recognizing the preciousness of their bond in this world. In the forest, Yuzu expressed gratitude to his companions, acknowledging that with their help, he had finally slain the war axe snake. As a token of gratitude, Yuzu gifted them his life essence. His companions glowed, appearing more vibrant and rejuvenated compared to their worn-out appearance from battling the snake. The wild cow took on the appearance of a minotaur, while the tempest wolves grew in size, harnessing the power of the wind as an additional talent. Yuzu felt immense joy witnessing his companions evolve and desired to see them grow even stronger. Among the companions, only Bald Head and the monkey had leveled up by 1 rank, though Yuzu found them cute despite that. The Tempest wolves bowed, and the crane encouraged the stubborn bald head to do the same as a sign of respect. Touched by their gesture, Yuzu promised to protect them, and in return, the creatures decided to remain by his side. Yuzu recognized that he still had much to learn in this world, but he understood that survival was the key to living in it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more content. Feel free to leave a comment down below sharing your thoughts or suggestions. If you want to stay updated on all our latest uploads, click the notification bell icon. And hey, why not check out some of our other videos popping up on the screen right now? If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by liking, sharing, and subscribing. It really means a lot. Peace.